"You look beautiful," the florist whispered as she adjusted Sarah's veil. The church hummed with quiet excitement, but Sarah couldn't stop her eyes from drifting toward the empty aisle, heart pounding for reasons no one understood. Not yet. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. Years ago, this day would have been impossible to imagine. Back then, she could barely afford rent, let alone roses. Back then, her morning routine included making one extra sandwich, not for herself, but for the quiet man who sat outside the bakery each day, rain or shine, with eyes that looked like they'd seen too much. He never asked for anything, never spoke unless spoken to, but every morning she placed the sandwich in his hands and said, "Hang in there." And every morning he'd nod and say softly, "Still breathing thanks to you." She never knew his name, never asked, and still she showed up, for 7 years. Some people called her foolish. Others said she was wasting her time, but to her it wasn't charity. It was humanity. And it became habit, like brushing your teeth or locking your door. One small thing you do, not because the world tells you to, but because something in your soul insists. Eventually, she stopped seeing him. Days turned into months, and though she worried, she figured maybe, just maybe, he'd found something better, a shelter, a family, a home. She never expected him to find her, and certainly not today. As the organ warmed up and guests began to stand, the chapel doors creaked open, not to reveal the bride, but to let in a row of men in full military dress. Gasps swept the pews. 7 Marines stepped in silently, medals glinting, eyes forward, posture perfect. At the front of the formation, one stepped forward, older, eyes familiar. Sarah's breath caught. It was him, the man from the sidewalk, the one who said, "Still breathing, thanks to you." But now, he looked nothing like the man she remembered. Clean-shaven, strong, whole. He saluted, and the chapel fell silent. "I apologize for interrupting," he said, voice clear, firm, "but this woman changed my life." Whispers turned to stunned silence, cameras lowered. Even the priest looked stunned. "My name is Staff Sergeant Marcus Hill. I served 3 tours overseas, lost friends, lost parts of myself. When I returned, I had nothing. No home, no clarity, no reason. Until one morning, a stranger handed me a sandwich and said, 'Hang in there.' She didn't flinch at my smell. She didn't look away from my scars. She didn't ask questions. She just showed up." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I got clean because of her. I got a job because of her. I got back because of her. And today, I came to say thank you, and to let her know she wasn't alone." Behind him, the other Marines stood tall. "These are men I served with. We all made it. Back, but not all of us made it home. When I told them what she did for me, they asked to be here, to honor her, because sometimes the smallest acts have the loudest echoes." He looked at her. "You saved me before I could ever thank you. Today, we wear these uniforms not to impress, but to stand for the kind of bravery the world often forgets. Quiet, daily, unnoticed." Sarah stepped forward slowly, tears streaming. Her groom stood beside her, frozen, then moved with her. Together, they approached the Marines. Marcus reached into his pocket and handed her a folded letter. "This is from the VA," he said. "It's a donation receipt. In your name. We pooled our bonus pay. It'll feed over 5,000 homeless vets." She shook her head, overwhelmed. "I don't know what to say." "Don't say anything," he replied. "You already did. Every morning, for 7 years." And then, before anyone could stop them, the 7 Marines stood in formation and raised sabers in an arch over the aisle, a gesture of highest honor, one reserved for military weddings, not civilians. But Sarah wasn't just a civilian today, she was a hero. The kind of hero who never wore a uniform, but whose love reached those who did. And as she walked down that aisle, veil floating, tears falling, and sabers gleaming in salute above her, every person in that chapel understood something vital. That courage isn't always loud, and sometimes the lives we save are the ones we don't even know are watching. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.